So last time you guys started off in a magical library, kidnapped, body napped, soul napped, something around there. You were forced into Glider's library, the strange and bizarre man who apparently knows too much and is stuck in that place. Is the first encounter for a couple of you. Second and third or fourth encounter for others of you. And he gave you lots of questions, hints at other things, and gave you a little bit of a tip on what it was that you were chasing down. He told you that it was an enormous elemental. You left there, scratching your head, finally able to remember what was going on in the tower for those of you that had been there before. And basically for the rest of the session, you guys talked and strategized about what you were going to do about this large, fiery thing. You decided to continue on to Rippletop in order to gather supplies and potentially prepare yourselves a little bit better for what was coming with this fiery thing. And we left the night off with you continuing up the mountain and seeing several layers of lit up tents and good smelling food, music, celebration coming across. And allow me to introduce you to Rippletop.
Woohoo!
But none of you have tokens, so...
Nah. Tricked us good.
I feel like how you just reacted the minute Dro walked in, that would be him.
Leo, do you still have Marcus out? Leo?
Oh, yeah, I do. Sorry, I was on mute.
Okay, all good. All right, and coming up with Marcus. Alrighty, and most of you have dark vision, and you are stuck with that. Let me see if I can figure out how to get rid of that. Nope, that didn't help. I'm still not entirely sure how to wield the new vision effects. Excuse me. Okay. However, actually, for those of you that have dark vision, you should be seeing things accurately.
Very great.
With grays and whatnot until they are nearby a light source.
That's the first time I've seen Dro's night or dark vision. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you come up upon this town. There are multitudes of different sizes of tents. Some of them are darkened. People have already gone to sleep. Some of them are very large. Many of them look temporary. Many and newly erected. Many of them look temporary yet treated as permanent. Like it's a temporary tent that's just been there for so long and it's looking a little bit ratty. There's also there's a few very large tents that have like thick hide or something wrapped around them with very large poles and ropes anchoring them into the ground. And you see, as you look around, there is a multitude of different types of people. There are bugbears. There are dragonborn, centaurs, owlins, herringans, even an occasional gith or two is walking by.
Liar.
The common thing that you do not notice is that there are no elves, no dwarves, no humans. Nothing that looks like a normal humanoid type. They're all a little bit more animalistic in nature. And you smell delicious things coming from various locations where people are cooking their own dinner. There seems to be a strong presence of smell and food coming around different locations. And you guys are welcome to explore a bit.
And what time of day is it? Obviously night, but
That was like early into the night or something like that.
Yeah, it's early evening. This is about I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock. You guys have a new place to spend your time at.
So, out of curiosity, Morgan, out of game, there's Ripple Mid, Ripple Top. Is there a distinguished like this is the richer city, this is the middle class? Anything that kind of breaks that apart between the two? Obviously, imagining the races that are walking around here are vastly different than what we saw in Ripple Middle, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Ripple Mid definitely felt like blue collar, hands-on type workers, people who rise with the sun, work until the sun goes down, and go inside and relax and do it again tomorrow.
Okay,
that was the overall general vibe there. You haven't been to Ripple Downs, so you don't know what it's like. Ripple Top has a give me an insight check as you're like kind of just like looking around, watching people walk from dark tent to dark tent, or between stalls of shops, things along those lines. Okay, 22. All right, you immediately recognize these people here as somewhat nomadic. They look like they're well built for possibly traveling with the seasons, uprooting their lives based on like the tent lifestyle. You easily pick up the scent of horses nearby. So this seems to be a thriving kind of like bustling energy town. You also see that many people with the 22, that's a high roll. You instinctually pick up that there's a good chance that a lot of these people are nocturnal.
Would this... How do I word this? Would this be familiar to Dro from where he's from? Like, I guess... culture, I guess? Okay. That's what I thought.
No, this one is if it's a part of your if it's a part of where you're from to any degree, it's somebody else's purview.
Okay.
Yeah.
So less city life, more... I don't even know. what to say. Outside city limits, you have a little more freedom, I guess. That would make sense.
Yeah, freedom kind of seems to be an easy vibe for this place.
That is a point. Is there anybody around us that looks like they'd be some sort of guard or authority or something? Or is it more just commoners for the most part?
There does appear to be like apologies guys, the coughing will be a frequent thing for the night. It does appear that there are near the larger locations, not the like smaller tents. It's not really like guard duty. It's more like they've got people who look ready to go in case of a fight, just kind of wandering around. More like patrols, but less like they're more like they're just in the populace in general.
Okay. If something breaks out, they're probably the ones to handle it.
Yeah, there's definitely some heavier folk. Some have armor and whatnot. Oh, come on, machine. Do what I want. Yeah, roaming around for that purpose.
Okay.
You also see a few smaller, well-armed people as well. Most of this looks like commoners, though.
Okay. So
What are people doing?
People are just talking to each other, kind of getting up, moving from tent to tent. Some of them are like in the process of crafting something. You see from where you're at, you see some people over here in this section particularly. Come on, ping. It's because I'm on the wrong thing. Right over here, there's a bunch of people like sitting on crates, like talking, like making some food. There's a couple people with like playing cards. Over here, you see somebody that's already like up and like into their day, and they've got a loom they're going through, and like they're creating like some sort of fabric or clothing, maybe. There's people who are like walking around like with like big things in their back or like pushing carts. To and from. There's some. Let me see from Leo's vantage.
is Leo the one that can't?
Leo's seeing.
I'm gonna say, is he
Interesting.
dark vision?
So I can see through Marcus's eyes, and Marcus has dark vision. So
Okay.
when I'm selecting my own character, I have very limited vision. But if I just look through Marcus, I can see the city. So
Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, up here you see trade goods. It looks like kind of like a farmer's market style sort of thing. It just seems to be a lot of people who are busy with their livelihood of some sort. And then some people roaming around. There's people that are just talking. There are some tents that are still dark, like nobody's active in them. Like either nobody's home or they're sleeping, either because it's late or because it's early.
Has anyone noticed us arrive?
This is a lot of the stuff that you guys are seeing like as you're coming up.
Okay.
And because of the lights like kind of like flooding the immediate area, almost like, you know, when you're in front of a campfire, to see off into the darkness is really difficult when the fire is like right by your face. There are a couple of people though that like kind of walk by and they're just gonna look at you and kind of meander on.
So Bro's gonna walk up next to Leo. Hey Leo, how are you doing seeing right now?
fine. I can see through Marcus, but it's a little limited.
So Dro's gonna put his hand on Leo's shoulder. Why don't you blink 3 times, and he's going to share his dark vision with but what's it called? Eyes of the Night.
Nice.
And then he'll do the same without saying a word and go over to Yaslin and do it to her. You can now see out to 300 feet of dark vision.
Nice. Awesome.
Okay, let me mess with the real quick on that.
The view of my vision has grown even wider.
It might be beneficial to Dro if you can see 300 feet.
Oh, do.
Let me see if I can put that in the thing too.
There we go. Okay, how about now, Leo?
Far worse. Oh, I guess never mind.
Worse.
Yeah, now I can't see anything.
No, nothing works.
He blinded you.
Now I have all the gray vision I can see now.
You're welcome.
I could already see pretty far, but I won't say no to 300 feet of vision.
It's nice.
So dark.
I don't even know if there's 300 feet on this map.
I know. I was skeptical in measuring it, so I did that.
You're like, huh?
Oh
let me
yeah,
see
it's God, it's so far. I didn't realize how far 300 feet was.
here.
I can show you the world.
See like the entire town.
So
Let's
I
see.
know,
You said 300 feet?
Yeah.
What happens if I do this? Okay, so Leo can see much further without obstruction.
yeah.
And Yaslin.
Let's say.
Just to give you more work, Morgan, the sword that's on my back begins to glow, and I have a 30-foot light source off of my sword.
Okay. Sounds
Clean.
good. What color? Pink? Blue?
Yeah, that's the color of my sword. It's pink.
Okay, cool. Oh, yikes, that's a little intense. That's a little hot. But yeah, let's go with that. There we go.
Cool.
Okay, there
So
we go. Now
can see. I can see very far, but I also have color, so that's good.
nice. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, you guys are in a brand new town. Oh, I'm off camera. I was coughing.
Dro, after doing that, is just looking all over like a kid in a candy store. Just taking in everything he can see. And probably has the expression of a kid in a candy store.
What are we looking for here?
Whom are we looking for?
Bounty board,
What?
obviously.
Yes.
Weren't we also looking to get some enchantments? Didn't you say you wanted to enchant your net to handle a fire creature? And he's not looking at any of you while he's talking. He's just looking around.
Fire creature net would be super great. Pretty sure mine's just the standard.
Should we start at the pub and see if we can get some information about the town? Or do you just want to bumble about? Maybe grab the first Joe that walks by?
I mean, the pub's always a good information. He'll start to walk, take about a
True.
few steps, and stop. Anybody know where that is?
Guess the first person we see then.
Just looks around for the first person he sees.
Sure, roll
Oh god.
just a d20 for me.
Oh, just a d20?
Yeah. Alrighty. You see walking by somebody going from one of the. It's actually somebody coming from out of town. Behind you, it's this very short and like almost pot-bellied owl person who is just walking by. They've got like a backpack on with like a bunch of like paper sticking out of it, big like thick glasses, so their like owl eyes are like popping big, and like blue like little ribbons and strips kind of like decoratively coming off of their body. I'm just kind of like walks by and looks up at you. Just kind of keeps going.
What way does he go? Is it towards Dro or towards Leo?
Goes this way towards Yaslin. Or actually, like looks at like a lot of you and then like looks over at Yaslin. Wow.
So I think Dro would be up here, and if he could step in front of him and kind of block his path for a minute.
Pardon me.
Whoa, wait.
What do you want?
Hi. Well, we're new to town, and my friends and I here, and just kind of look over and kind of motion to them. We're looking to get a drink and some information. Is there any places a fine fellow like you would recommend?
Yeah, the market. It's like the only spot.
That's the only spot you can get a drink? Is the market?
Well, yeah. If you want drink, it's over there. If you want smoke, there's another place.
Do you not have a pub, a tavern, an inn?
No. We don't.
Just kind of look over him to the rest of the group.
Well, there is a tavern, but there's no food there.
What?
I mean, we call it the lodge, but
Perfect. Where is that?
Okay, you want
I want information.
he like he gets behind you and like grabs your hips and like points to you. It's just like, see that big one over there? That's it.
He just kind of slowly turns and puts his head
He's
down.
referring to this building like way over here. You can see just kind of like a large dark tent. It is like almost like a building size. It's just that's the one.
Cool. And he's gonna kind of like do that kind of arch over. A little helpful advice. I wouldn't recommend putting your hands on strangers. It's fine. Her, you know what? Why don't you do that and see what happens?
I like my hands.
Good idea.
Like starts waddling off.
Look at the group. Drinks, information, and just start to walk. Keep zooming out.
Oh,
All right. Yep. So kind of up and to your right is where he was gesturing.
Oh my goodness, this map is huge.
Oh, I just zoomed all the way out. Where's the door? Oh, there it is.
Yep. It's a little bit further up. Wow. This whole night vision thing is a little bit trippy to like fade out and then like see colors suddenly.
Mhm.
And yeah, you see this and what you see is this a large dark tent, and these things are like the posts that are so thick it's more like a fence post for like a spiked wall. And you see that, and you see like several more of them like around with like thick, almost wooden like barriers, and like thick, spiky black hide is wrapped all around this thing, even up on the top. It gives the overall appearance of like some sort of like giant spiked lizard.
Before Dro goes in, he's gonna walk up to Yaslin. Let's try not to start any fights. Unless it's absolutely necessary. Let's not make a bad first impression, and he'll just open the doors. Whoa.
Excuse me. Okay. A little bit dark outside, but as you open up, it is just flooded with light. Lots and lots of different lights, just kind of small ones pinging all over the place. Oh, I misspoke. I didn't study the map hard enough. There's totally booze here.
Woohoo, booze!
Yeah. And from behind the counter, it's there's people all over the place that are. Ooh, Leo, I'm gonna turn your light down, man. It's like hot washing everything. Just remind me to turn it back on, and I'll put it back.
Okay.
There we go. That's a little better. There's only a few tables here, but they seem to be like very well packed, and there's several different people. There's no seating at the moment, but behind the counter here, you see a very large Minotaur woman. Big like curly hair that like, or wavy hair that like comes up. It's red and it has like a blue streak as it like passes both of her horns and like ducks down into a braid. And she's very clearly busy. She's got a couple of other people with her. One's a goblin. One is a one's a little like black raven type of person, hopping around, and the three of them are working the fire, working the grill, pouring drinks, and running around and serving the customers. And occasionally, one of them runs out the doors to like run food past Yaslin and like a little bit further to the north. And like, there's one more person that comes back in, and it's a very sleek, hat-like person with yellow fur and spots. Comes up and like grabs the next plates and sips off really fast again. The big Minotaur woman says, Yep, hold on! Get to you in just a moment. And you guys look around, it smells pretty good. Like something kind of country or like homey, like something cooked while you would camp with your family. That's the kind of general vibe it has, but that done on like a restaurant level. And as you look around, you see again just more and more collective of random animal-esque people just roaming around, and you see a large turtle. Actually, no, scratch that. I'm so used to using turtles, and they don't exist in this world. You see somebody who has like scales, like a snake, and like long fangs. They just have like a kind of a very rare cooked piece of meat on their plate, just and sucking it all down, and you it just continues on like that across the room. Whoa, I just screwed up my browser. And then she turns back, she's like, yeah, what can I get for you? Oh, out of towners, welcome to the lodge. I repeat my question. What can I get for you?
Just kind of look to everybody. Y'all drink? I know you do. The rest of you?
Mm-hmm.
And turn and look back. This is the Minotaur.
Yeah, she's operating like right behind the counter. She seems to be the one in charge, barking orders occasionally to like her 4 or 5 people that are helping her out. She like listens to new orders and like writes them down in the book. She's also like keeping track of the tabs and stuff and whatnot.
How much?
Dro, aren't you pretty? Isn't Dro really short?
No, he's 5'10".
No. 5'10". Okay, never mind.
I don't think
Just saying
anyone
that.
in this party is very short.
It's very short. For some reason I thought Dro was.
He should be, but what the heck? Okay. Turn and look back to the Minotaur. You got ale?
Mostly liquor and wine, but ale. Yeah, some here. It's not a regular. She pulls out like 1 cask, and she's like, "This is about all we got. Don't you keep a little on hand for travelers and non-locals?"
Turn to the other group. You guys want anything different?
Make it whiskey then. That's what
Yeah,
I would
what's the
say.
local drink?
Yeah.
There we go. And she takes it and puts it back down. Dark Lad, do you want any of this one?
I'll take the local.
All right. Do you want all of it?
Just kind of looks.
Just
No.
just a glass then.
Yeah.
And she gets you like a 1 glass stein, fills it up, and like as it comes out, it is thick. Like the viscosity on this thing is like deep, and it like bubbles up, and it doesn't shiver. It more like roils as the air comes up. Like, there you go. Drunkard's Take is what we call it. That'll be. I'll get the rest of it. And she goes down and she pulls out this very. It's like an orange bottle with a brown liquid inside that seems to swirl. Like it hasn't settled completely. She says, it's a pleasure to see another big lady. As she points to Nora. Bottle. What? 1 bottle, 2 bottles, less than a bottle. What do you want?
Bottle
How
sounds like a
big?
good place to start, right?
How big's the bottles you said?
It's like a full-size liquor bottle. Probably, as far as liquor goes, probably 20 shots worth.
Better go with 2.
Yeah.
And 2. All right, so does everybody like the hard stuff? Because that's what you've got so far.
What you serving up here? You got any sashimi or something on the rare side?
We cater to all types for food. So, how rare is rare? She points back over to that snake person. Because that one, I basically had it stare at the fire for about 10 seconds and then she was good.
That's too much.
Gotcha. Okay, so a little bit beyond that on the just came from the fish side. Sure. Yeah, we can figure something up for you on that. Bit of sashimi for the rest of you.
I'll just take a bunch of fruit.
Fruit, good place for it. Highly able and valuable fruit in this economy. The fuck am I saying? Anyways. Okay, lots of fruits for the big lady. Pinkman.
Do you guys have do you guys sell pastries? Breads?
Not the lodge. The lodge is not going to be our best bet there for you, but the market just a bit north of here will have a fair amount of that for you.
Well, maybe having some pre-made food could help your business out a bit, but I'll just have a glass of the hard stuff for now.
All right, man who lives off his liquor. I like it. Let's see here. How about for you, dark guy?
He's just like still
Y'all-
looking around.
Yeah, y'all get nicknames until you become regulars, by the way. And then the nicknames stick, and then I don't call you your real names.
Good dude, that's a better nickname than I've been called, so I'll take it.
Fair enough.
Just kind of looks around. What type of meats you got?
We got just about anything that you can find on this mountain. Except, we came across one of those smelly large beasts with the heavy tail. Don't think they're native, but when we killed one, we didn't want to eat it. Besides that, we've got frog, we've got lizard. Just don't tell Joseph in the corner. It's a little bit testy about that. They're not related, but he still feels like they are somehow.
He just turns and looks at that one. And just goes
Yeah,
back to listening.
you see kind of like this like sleek kind of bluish green lizard guy, and he's like just like he's got like fistfuls of some sort of like almost like a dumpling like filled with like rice and like darkened meat, and he's like his eyes are like wide and kind of buggy, and he like licks his own eye.
That he's eating. Do you got any more of that?
Certainly. Take a moment to rip some up for you, but certainly. That'd be a blackened eel pastry. No, a dough ball. I don't know, I'm not the damn chef.
Works for me.
Alright. And how about you in the back there? Noticed you. Scary face.
Do you have any like steaks? Just
Steaks?
meat?
Certainly. Are you on the rare side like your friend here? Points over back to Seamus.
A little more cooked than that.
Alright, certainly. Any preference of steak? We recently came across a rock. One of those giant acid pirates. Turned out to be a lot of good eats there, so I'm trying to sell it before it goes bad. And it's not bad yet, but, give it a week, and it will be. But, gotta sell what's available.
Oh, I'll take that.
Alright, got some rock meat.
It's like a big chicken, from what I understand.
Enormous chicken. Good God. It was a lot. Alright, so she looks at her book, writes some things down, kind of runs her finger a little bit. Alright, for the lot of that, the liquor and the beer, it's about 2.5 gold for the lot.
I'll flip him 3.
Alright. With a customer like you, we'll be at your service all night. And your name, sir?
Seamus, and that's the one you'll remember.
It is. That's why I asked. Alright, excellent. We're all full up. You're welcome to wait until one of these idiots gets out of their chair. And if not, then tumble on up a little further north. Pinkman, you can find your pastries up there. Go find yourself a seat in the market. We'll get you your food up there in just a moment.
Who will we send our compliments to?
Oh, well, you've got several different things here, but turns around.
I was asking your name, Missy.
Oh, mine. Well, I'm just making the things happen. The chef, she turns around and grabs the raven by the head and turns it around. The head goes first and the body comes a little bit afterwards. This is Pitlock.
Pleasure to meet y'all. Remember, keep it away from the flame.
All right, she'll do just that. Keep it away from the flame. It repeats and goes back to cooking, in like a perfect Seamus imitation. And like, my name is is Belga, Belga. Belga, I am the humble servant of the lodge.
Pleasure's all ours.
Kind of you to say so. And is there anything else you guys are taking a look at as you are in the building, leaving, anything like that?
The bird creature. Has Dro ever seen one of those before?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And you, especially from where you're from.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I changed my decision then.
Which decision is that? Or is that not disclosed yet?
It's not
Go
disclosed.
find it.
Sounds good.
For some reason, I'm gonna say that Leo gives that Minotaur lady a kind of cheeky wink as he leaves. Not sure why, but cheeky little wink.
She gives you a cheeky little wink back. I like a spunky man. Okay, anything else from the rest of you?
You said this whole area is full.
Yeah, it's really just like two tables that are jammed up, and then like behind the kitchen there are several doors, numbered 1 through 5.
Are all the seats at the tables taken up?
For the moment, yeah.
Okay.
But you have, even in this conversation, you have seen like somebody get up and like somebody like from outside like come and take their place pretty quickly.
Oh, okay.
Does any of the tables look particularly like most of the people are done eating at them?
We have the same
For
mindset.
reasons?
It looks like people are in mid-flight. It doesn't seem to be the type of place where like people sit and like linger. It's
Yeah.
like they finish up and they finish up, they pay up, and or excuse me, they've already paid. But they finish up and then they like stand up and leave, and then somebody comes and like buses it and like takes it outside, and then like comes back in a little bit while later and with clean
Alright.
dishes.
You had the same idea I did.
Yeah. Yaslin just kind of like eyes Dro for a second, like,
Dro is like scanning. If,
She's like,
if
"Do
there's
it."
nowhere where like we could slip in and get everybody in, he'll kind of shrug off and start to walk out.
You could. You just you'd have to. It'd be more like you have to plant yourselves like 1 or 2 at a time rather than like wait for 5 seats to open up.
I don't think I could scare off 5 people.
Nora could fart.
Whoa.
Where's the other 3?
Apparently they bounced. Dro, as
We're already
you-
over at the market. You guys have been arguing about where to sit.
We're looking for actual spots while you guys were
We're just scanning.
Yaslin hasn't been talking, she's just been staring.
Let's see here. So Dro, you're the one that's like been like taking this in kind of the most from the beginning. You see above the fireplace, like, and the stove and whatnot, on this like central pillar, which is the chimney stack that leads outside to the center of the tent, and there's smoke coming out of that like giant lizardy cone. You see a picture of an ant, and it seems highly detailed. It's just black and white, but it's not like a simple thing. It looks like a logo encircled in kind of like a circle, and you look at it and kind of makes you like raise your eyebrow.
Is this familiar to me at all with my travels?
No.
I'll kind of elbow Yaslin. You see that? That painting.
Which one?
And then kind of point
That
up
one?
to it. That look familiar to you?
Oh. Twiddle my thumbs. Does that look familiar to me? I've traveled, but if it's not from
Roll
around
a. Roll a. Sorry, one second. Let me check something. Roll a history check.
$11.
11. No,
No,
rings
not
a
really.
bell with that.
Where's Belga? You talking to anybody?
Yeah, she's kind of talking to like the next set of people that have come in and like writing the books. At one point, he like she leaves the tent and like goes away for a minute and like comes back in, and she's carrying like a couple of like bags of like potatoes and like sets them down.
Anybody that's working, if there's a point where Dros sees them, like for a second, he can snag them and ask them a couple questions. He's gonna try to get their attention.
All right, one of that fast cat person that's like coming in and out, like just like grabbing things, comes in and like goes over to like a bin that's on the side over here, that's kind of like tucked in to the back, and just like throws a few plates in there, and then like comes over and like grabs a couple more things and like starts to head back out.
So I'll stop. Hey, Speedy, 1 second.
Okay, what do you want?
New in
Hi.
town. I have a couple
Sorry,
questions.
okay. Uh-huh. Mhm.
And by the way, my name is Dro. This is Yaslin.
Hello.
Question. If we're looking for some shop or someone to, say, enchant some gear of ours or have magical items, is that something we can find here?
Market.
Nora just peeking
It's
in.
gone.
See Nora come back and
Don't worry about what I was doing. Sneak.
As soon as he sees them take off, he's tapping his up by his ear and casting message to message them. I can't remember. It's sending has limits on words, right? Can't remember the difference.
Yes, that's
Yes,
correct.
okay.
Message, if cast in rapid succession, can be treated like a conversation.
Okay.
It's
So
basically like one or two quick sentences.
and he'll go. So since you sped off and I wasn't finished yet, by the way, very rude. Another question. The picture up here and kind of describe the ant that Dro saw. What is that?
And by the time you're done talking about it, the cat comes back in and is like, talking to people's heads, also very rude. I knew I'd be back in a moment. That's the builder. Yeah, the builder. You know, the one who builds things, the deity.
He'll just kind of right. He has no clue.
I don't have, and I don't mean to be rude. I don't have the time to educate you on religion in the middle of dinner rush. You may want to go study up on that. Dro, nice to meet you. Yaslin, nice to meet you. Welcome to town. Lots of hungry people. I don't want to get them all cranky. Some of them literally transform when they're cranky.
Turn and look
cheers.
at Yaslin.
Grabs and
Like
she too.
drug.
Okay, fine. And she heads off again. It like continues to do her back and forth.
Okay. Turn and look at Yaslin. Well, that was surprisingly more helpful. Turn and look for everyone else.
I just
Shit.
saw them run off. Well, one of them ran off, came back and ran off.
Was it the hippo?
Yeah, I didn't know they could move that fast.
That's concerning. Okay, well, we better go because they still don't trust us, and I wouldn't put it past them to leave without us. So,
Yeah,
let's start making our way
I
out.
want my food.
Yeah, you guys head out up towards the market, and in that whole meantime, what are the other three of you doing? Do you go and sit immediately and start your drink, or are you wandering?
So I would wander up here to these tables, and by the time I reach these tables, my glass of whiskey is gone, and so I probably just come up and set the glass down. At this point, then I'm gonna wander around and look at a couple of these stalls.
Sounds good. After just a moment, like you set it down and like start looking around, and then like you look back and all you see like a yellow hand grab your glass, like put it on a tray and like zip out. Your whiskey glass is gone.
All right, good.
All right. Which one of these stalls is looking interesting to you? This one over here,
Oh.
FYI, has more than just bread. It's the pastry stall.
Yeah. I wasn't really interested in pastries. I'm looking for like some armor. Does any of these things have like potentially some better armor?
Let's see here. Not here. You do. This one seems to be, or there seems to be some basic swords and whatnot. Armor doesn't seem to be on display at the moment. You see traps, you see bread, you see magic-y stuff, you see plenty of produce and game and whatnot. But armor not in this location, looks like.
All right. Barring that, then I guess, is this booth here like magic? What is this booth? This is where I would go, checking out whatever's at this place.
Yeah, it does. It does look magic-y, and that owl that you saw earlier is like over here. He's like opening up his shop. He's like put his backpack up, and he's like spread out a couple of like scrolls and whatnot. And he along with so he's kind of like a grayish blue owl, and you see also like an owl that's a little bit smaller than him. Sharper features, not so round and pudgy. A little bit like she's got like bright red feathers that kind of like frame her face, and it almost looks like some of her feathers are dyed in a certain pattern, and it to be like a brighter red. And she's helping set up as well.
All right. I guess Leo, he's already feeling a little drunk. He just kind of almost shout at that little owl and be like, "Hey, is there?"
Yes. You people are bizarre to me.
Is this the
Do
same
you have
one?
anything? Yeah, it's the same guy. Do you have anything that would help me with like making water?
You happen to be coming to the exact right place. Water magic happens to be a bit of a specialty of mine.
Nice.
What do you have in mind? Are we talking about drinking water? Out in the desert, need something to keep you hydrated, or what's the idea?
If I was fighting a giant fire monster and I needed a large amount of water very quickly.
Interesting specificity there. This doesn't happen to have anything to do with the recent forest fires, does it?
It might.
Well, in that case, let me see what I can think up. Large amount of water. How's your proficiency with magic in general?
I'm not good with it myself.
Got anybody? Are you fighting this thing alone?
No, I've got. And he kind of turn around and look for the rest of the crew.
Okay, so the rest of the oddballs that you walked in here with.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Magic and them, or should we be exploring like a non-magician's option?
Probably the latter. I don't think any of us are magicians.
All right. Sorry, Q. Possibly lots of moments of editing where it's just everybody staring at the screen and me coughing. All right. What's your budget looking like?
Oof. I got money.
You got money. Interesting way to talk about it. Give me a range. The higher you go, the higher quality of the item.
I mean, I could go 200 gold, maybe a little bit more.
200? All right. Let me see what I can work up. Will you be here tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll be around.
Okay. Yeah, come on back. And would you like to do like a half down payment now and just I'll deliver what I think is best, or would you like to come back tomorrow after I've had a chance to noodle on it a little bit and explain what the item would be a little more? I would, of course, include an extended timeline because we won't start on it tonight.
Yeah, let's do it. And I'll just take out 100 gold and put it on the table.
All right, excellent. Picks it up. Pleasure. And your name?
Leo. And you? Glasses?
Leo. Manu is my name, and this is Kilu, my enthusiastic apprentice / daughter. And she's been like ignoring you guys the whole time and just continuing to set up. Like she's looking at the stall and like setting things up and like putting a few wands on display, and like her whole head like turns around owl style. She's like, "Hi," and like goes back.
I feel like when Leo pulled out his money and handed it over, both Nora and I would like instinctively like feel the money like in the presence of air and like turn to watch the transaction take place.
Like both of you, it's like an instinctual like pucker moment.
I'm also drunk and not being like subtle at all.
Also, this is canon. Leo is a lightweight. I mean, it was dark liquor, but that was like took that shot.
It was
like
a big
4 minutes ago.
glass.
It was a big glass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, it hits him fast.
Hadn't eaten for a while, like
Yeah.
been walking for a long time.
Totally fair. Absolutely valid. All right, so Leo's there, and as soon I think it's the sounds like Seamus is. Oh, why not? I'm gonna make this a thing. Seamus and Nora, forever, you two have advantage on perception checks when it comes to money and coin.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Do love money and coin.
Yeah, money and coin. So you hear the slight chingle or like the opening of drawstrings on like a money purse. Better than most.
Yeah, I think Seamus would have definitely clocked that transaction then, and just noted that there was a pretty good chunk of money that was just put down for something. So, gonna make sure that Manu and Kiyu deliver in the next 24 hours here?
See. Running low on funds.
All right. Cool. Leo, or excuse me, Nora and Seamus. While Leo is wandering about finding something magic.
I see a big table of traps and stuff over here, so I probably would
Mm-hmm.
want to talk to that vendor. I imagine that I'm walking around with my whiskey and just kind of sipping on it as I peruse and watch this drunken transaction kind of take place behind me, but also interested in the trap vendor over here.
Okay. Sounds good. And you see like a kind of a scraggly looking little goblin type person. A little bit fuzzy in the hair. And you look at them and it's not like a normal type of goblin that you've like encountered before. This one looks almost like a tiny badger type person. Like their demeanor, everything about them looks goblin-esque, except for their features. There's little like black and white stripes of like mild fur running over them. The nose is slightly elongated, but everything else kind of reads goblin. Wild hair, strong yet nimble looking limbs, spiky ears, the whole bit. Looks like some sort of perhaps hybrid.
Top of the evening to you.
Hi. You come to my shops. Your guts are saying hi.
You got anything to trap something that's made of fire?
My, how specific. What sort of something made of fire? Lots of things made of fire. Some that fly, some that stomp, some that burn around, some wield swords.
That's a good question. Pretty good sized monster, I reckon. Nothing humanoid. It would have to probably pierce some kind of natural armor of sorts, I imagine.
I imagine so, yes. Did you say it was large?
I did.
I've got some ideas. If it's just fire, and perhaps maybe some molten hardened skin or something, I could probably work with that. It could be a limited functionality, unless it had some sort of protection on it. I'm thinking a bit of a harpoon to go in and anchor it down to the ground so it has less chance to move. But if it's depends on how hot its body is, it may melt away the spears or the cables. Could be enhanced a bit, though. It's not the first time I've worked with Manu over there. Probably won't be the last. I could check in with him. Kilu. She's a clever girl. She can probably come up with something as well.
If you could put your minds together on something, well, that might be worth a pretty penny. I know, my business companion over here has already set up Manu and Kiyu for a pretty good device over there, I reckon. Maybe you want to get in on that.
Looks over and sees kind of like a Leo. How buzzed are you?
Like pretty buzzed. He went from 0 to 9.
0 to 6.
The one that's walking with its head sideways.
That's the one.
Sure. All right. Well, what's your timeline?
I think we can give it a day or two.
Yes,
A day
and
or
if,
two might work.
If it helps, I have manacles. If there's just an enchantment you can find to make these, I guess, more durable, or even this net to make it, fire resistant. Proof seems aggressive, but if you can make it fireproof, that'd be great.
That's if you're asking the collective between me and Manu, we can likely figure those out. The manacles depend based on what your compatriots here said. The size difference probably won't work on anything. Well, frankly, larger than you, sweetheart. Can we reinforce them? Can we make them stronger? Absolutely. Will it work on this particular, whatever it is you're looking for? Unlikely. But as a separate subject, yes, we can make them stronger.
Interesting.
Worth having a look at. I've got some manacles too if we just need more manacles, but if you had something reinforced, I can't imagine that'd be a bad thing to have on hand.
Oh, unlikely. Manacles can be used for all sorts of things, nefarious, entertaining, the like. I have access to quite a good amount of materials that are more robust than others. The higher the quality, the higher the price, of course. So I can add physical reinforcement, while Manu and his cute little redhead birdie daughter, they can add the magical reinforcement if necessary. So heat resistant net, fire resistant net, 2 sets of enhanced manacles, and some sort of trap to stop a fiery thing. Is that the summation of the desires?
I think just one set of the enhanced manacles for now is fine.
Sure. Going one. This is the sort of thing that we won't understand the makeup or the price until we dig into the components that would be necessary to pull this off. So before we give us about a day to figure out the direction we're going. We'll pitch you a price, and then if you say yes, then we'll get on with the races.
That sounds fair enough.
Agreed. Thank you.
Excellent. You're welcome. And your names, my new patrons.
Seamus, and yours?
Shellek. Shellek.
EK, you said?
Yep, EK. And how about you, Miss Young Lady? I'm not sure what to call you.
You can call me Nora.
Nora.
Yes.
Shellek. Right, so we'll see you tomorrow's then.
Excellent, thank you.
Excellent. And immediately grabs some of the traps and kind of scooches them down the bench a little bit. And a couple of them snap off and ching ching, like, oh, rats. And just doesn't really bother, leaves them on the floor, rolls out a piece of big paper and just starts designing a bit.
I like it. He looks inspired.
All right. It's about this time that the 5 of you can reconverge here in the center of the market.
Dro is looking at every little thing, touching every little thing.
Yaslin at some point, if
By the way-
he's dragging him slowly.
Which, by the way, everybody feel free to talk to Shellick as much as you want. Speaking in that voice felt really nice on my throat from after coughing for so long.
While Dro becomes a child here, is there anything that piques his eye that would benefit him in particular, either in combat or his skill sets in general? Anything that would just pique his interest?
What you looking for? Are you for monk items? Are you
Monk items or potential tools? Like tools you can be proficient in.
Gotcha. Okay. Not really in this particular space that you're currently in. You do see instruments over here of various types. And actually, yeah, there does seem to be a little bit more like general type supplies. As you're wandering around, it's more like over here at this booth.
Would they also have health potions or anything in this area?
You don't see anything health potion-y here.
Okay. Still gonna wander over here to the instruments.
Oh, seeing him go away, I'm like, Dro, I want food.
Can I bring the food out here, or do we go back inside?
And as you kind of say that, the cat comes by, plattered, and it looks like this large, like ovular disc, and it's got like white and red and yellow, like fleshed fish with like slight sear marks and like that nice little. I'm sure there's a technical term for this, but it's like that like quarter inch of like seared bit before it gets into like the nice raw fish on the inside. For you, and like goes around and hands out everybody their foods, including Dro and Yaslin.
She sees that and she's like, Dro, we're going.
The minute he comes up to Dro, oh hey Speedy, okay bye Speedy.
Hi, bye. Just grabs more food. And grabs
That's our
dishes and
food.
takes off.
That is now his name.
We can look at.
And the next time you see that person come back around, they come out and like grab a empty drink out of somebody's hand and put a fresh one in there, and like gives like an apple tart over to Skellick. Like, name's Kiala. Bye.
Kiala?
Hold up there, Kiala. This looks like it's got some burn marks on it. Did this see the grill?
A bit.
I thought we talked about that. If I could get somebody to just send out some fish, that'd be great.
Okay, so not as raw as the snake persons, but less raw than, or more raw than this. So like a little bit lower.
The rawest you can make it. Pull it right off the steak or the fish if you have to.
Easily done. And grabs it and zips off. You definitely see the cat like shoving a couple of pieces of sashimi base on the way.
That's about right.
Yeah, everyone's like eyeing the table. She's like,
as long as it doesn't go to waste.
Food, Dro. Now.
And you've got your food in your hand, Yaslin.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
yes!
just standing and eating.
Don't worry, I'm eating it as I stand.
Yeah, you've got like some very thick strips that have been like several of them, like 4 or 5, that have just been like seared, and that's it. Like it's like a total of like 6 seconds.
It's just-
And Seamus comes back out, and this time like it's like the cut of fish. It looks like a full fish, but you see there's like score marks on the scales and stuff, and like presents it and like grabs a knife and just like kind of gently like peels back the skin, and you see like the fillet like right in there, and like the fillet on the other side as well, as fast as we can.
It'll have to do.
It's like, let me know if you need anything else.
I want to race this cat so bad.
It's not supernatural speed. It's like it's a quick person who has immense skill at their job and can like dive in and out of crowds like with no problem.
Every time I don't know, he, she, they go by, Joe's just like watching it.
Yeah.
The instruments on the table. What ones do we see?
You do see what's there. You see lutes, you see flutes, you see harps of various sizes. You also see like pipes. Like you are essentially looking at kind of like a wagon tent right there that seems to be like the wheels have like sunken into the ground by a few inches. In that like, and there's like dust build up kind of slightly. So it looks like this was a wagon. It did used to be mobile, but it hasn't moved in years. And so there's like a tent over it, and there's mostly the wagon is now just supports for things to show on the outside. So you see pipe flutes, you see drums, you see little clackers, you see shakers. It's pretty much most of everything that you could want in an instrument set.
So, girl's gonna pick up one.
It's nothing huge. It's like everything you could easily wield with like 2 hands is probably there. If you need something like cello size or like piano size, like none of those.
So he's gonna pick up a flute and just kind of look at it for a little bit.
Okay. It's a give me an investigation check. Or a performance check, whichever you prefer.
Sure, we'll do this.
17. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. It looks to be a reed, kind of like a clarinet style. It's kind of a dark amberish kind of wood. It's got these black striations through all of it. Seems to be decent quality.
And then the person at the stall, what do they look like?
Somebody over here that seems to be like sitting in like a bucket that's been like changed into some sort of like a chair, and like their head is like mostly down, and like they've got like this wide brimmed hat that's just like covering their face mostly. And there's 2 slots in it, and there's like floppy rabbit ears like coming out the top.
Just after kind of looking at it for a little bit. Are these your instruments?
Yep. That's a nice one you got in your hands, too. Just the hat still down and like doesn't seem to be moving.
How much?
For that one, make sure you play something on it. If you're decent, it'll cost you less. If you're going to be taking one of my items and going away and making it sad, then it'll cost you more.
Let me roll. I am proficient with this, so don't know. It's on Argar and what is this called? Argon. This says I have a +7 with the flute, but I can't roll it. Just roll it.
Go ahead and roll a performance check. Oh, geez. Plus.
I just rolled D20 and then add +7.
Yeah, I really do wish D&D did tool sets better. Okay, 14. What kind of feeling do you put into the play?
Dro has this energy, outgoing, positive attitude, but when he starts to play, it's more of kind of like close to a lullaby, a little more like shocking, kind of the polar opposite of him. It kind of makes people feel a little, wow, okay, not what I expected from a high energy individual. It's kind of more slower, more lullaby with a little bit of sadness in it.
Then from the rabbit, still eyes down, and one of the ears twitches up and like kind of turns back to you as you're playing. And it didn't start that way, but as you began, it kind of like gained interest and tracked you. A pepperwood with a dark streak. Lights with a little bit of mischief in it. I think that instrument happens to suit you perfectly, boy. Let's call it a single gold.
He's just still looking at the flute. And he takes 2 gold out and puts it on the table. Appreciate it. Slides it forward.
And he grabs one, pockets it, grabs the other, and flicks it straight back to you. A tip for the musician.
And kind of grins. The name's Dro.
Baba.
Baba.
You're welcome back anytime.
All right, Baba. Question for you. My companions here, well, one of them here, and then the others are off wandering. We arrived here fairly recently, and we're looking to buy some goods, some equipment. We've been tasked with a pretty intense request that we're not quite suited for. A lot of us are really good at hitting things. Some may say we're pros at it. Some like to use ranged weapons and leans in, but between me and you, they're kind of unreliable. But none of us, the blocker we have here is that this task is dealing with a fire creature. And none of us are suited to deal with that. Do you know anybody that could help us out?
There's a bit of a tricky conundrum there, isn't it? Well, one of your friends is already talking to Manu. Manu? I think you've started on the right track. I am very good at keeping aware of what's going on around. Fire creature. You should talk to the heads. See what they can do for you.
The heads?
Yes.
Right.
That's not That's multiple people, by the way.
You totally didn't think it was one person with multiple heads. See, Yaslin, I told you.
And at this point, he kind of leans forward and like hops up on his bucket and like leans on the edge, like feet and hands, and it looks like it should fall over, but it doesn't move. Yes, the heads of the factions. If there's something that you're up to that will be of particular service to the community, they may throw you a bone. Or at least know who can throw the right bone.
What was that name, Morgan? You cut out. The heads of, and then you cut out.
Oh, the heads of the factions.
Factions, okay. Okay.
Guessing by your face. You don't know anything about that, do you?
No.
Well, you met one already. My hearing's very good, and she's very loud.
Kind of turn and look at Yaslin. I'm trying to rack my brain who we've met.
Belga.
That's okay. Turn and look. Kind of motion back towards the lodge without saying anything. Her?
Yeah, that's one of them. 3 more to go.
Let me guess. They're not around here, are they?
One's right over there. And he points in this direction.
Up north? Is that what
The
you-
other... It's less fun if I point you to all of them directly, but I'll give you the next breadcrumb to follow. I don't get to watch new people up here too terribly often. It's not rare, but still entertaining for people to absorb all of this.
He just kind of looks around. This is quite interesting. I've seen a lot. Nothing like this.
That's because there is nothing like this.
Good to know.
It's a bit of chaotic paradise, I like to call it.
A little chaos isn't always bad.
No. Especially not when a chipper bloke comes in and plays a bit of a solemn tune.
He's got the flute strapped to his side right now, kind of taps it. One more question. These heads, the one up there and kind of motions, any helpful tips she'd be willing to trade?
I missed most of that. Say what?
He says for the heads, kind of motioning to the direction where he pointed one of them to be. Any helpful advice? Any tips for a newbie?
Don't be needy. Be useful.
I don't think we'll have
That's what it's all about here. You see, anybody here lollygagging or lazing about, you look around and everybody's busy. Everybody seems to be enjoying what they're doing and talking and laughing and being jovial with one another. But they're all working on something. Even the children of the various creature people that you see, they're all they're either playing or practicing something, or following their mom and dad, just working on whatever they're working on.
Just kind of keeps looking around as this rabbit's talking. Useful. Something. Kind of motion to me and Yaslin. Something we're pretty good at.
You seem like good folk.
Appreciate that.
Now, if you don't mind, I'm getting a bit more shut-eye, but open ear. And he goes back. Yaslin and Drew, nice to meet you both.
Just kind of nods at him, even though he can't see him. Look at Yaslin. Well, you ready to go look for some heads?
Yeah,
You should probably find the others.
over there.
Just turn. Oh, that was quick. He goes to eat because he hasn't ate his food yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start to wander over to the rest of the group.
Her plate's already empty. She's a little sad about it.
As he's walking, I'll look over to Yaslin. Is this place familiar to your home?
It's similar. But not exactly the same.
Still looking around, taking it all in. Is quite interesting. And just kind of pulls out the flute, messes around with it till he finds the rest of the group.
What's the crock?
Where is Seamus? Oh, there he is.
I think we've covered this one before, but I forgot what that means.
Croc?
What's going on?
Nice.
What's happening?
You saying that to us or to Nora?
Yeah, to you as you guys are walking back in under this tent. There's like this big long table where people are eating. I think that's where I'm eating at.
So you see Dro just stuffing his face as he's walking up. There you are. Guys kind of made haste out of the tavern in there.
I put our order in and I think just kind of wandered out a little bit to see what was going on around here, but we found some good stuff already, I think, Leo. Quickly latched on to somebody that might be able to provide some kind of water magic or something. I don't know. He seems real into it. Put some money down right away. But then there's another guy over here. What was the fellow's name now? Shellick. Little badger fella. He does traps and stuff. He's gonna help out. So we're gonna work up something special made for a fire creature, and we're gonna circle back on it tomorrow.
Interesting, and kind of look at Leo. What does Leo look like right now?
Leo is wandering away from the table. He's headed back to that Minotaur lady.
Cool.
Just kind of stumbling, like grabs onto a tent for a second. It's like,
yeah.
He can't handle his alcohol, I take it?
No, he's all banjanked already.
Yeah. So you guys said you found some stuff. We oddly enough found some information that might be actually beneficial. It seems around here there's the heads. And trust me, it's not one person with multiple heads. It is multiple people. Leaders of factions. And they said that they are may be willing to help us if we throw them a bone. We help them, they help us. Ironically enough, we have already met one. And Leo is actually looking like he is heading to go have a chat with her right now.
Sure, this will be great for us.
Excellent. Yes.
And you see Marcus like following Leo in concern. All right. So Leo, you enter back into the lodge and walk back in. And what you doing?
He's gonna kind of stand up straight, not looking around, and just kind of try to compose himself really quick. Look up.
Roll a dexterity
All right.
check.
Yeah, that's fair. Hold on, I didn't have my little thing open.
I love that you didn't even let me have you do a constitution check for your alcohol.
It
You're
just was
like, I'm drunk.
automatic. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, that seems right.
Cool. You're mostly fine.
I'm halfway there. All right.
Yeah. That's like a drunk person's halfway, which is like 30%.
Yeah. All right. I would say I'd probably call her like honey. I'd say like, hey, honey.
And it takes her like a full like 5 seconds to be like just move it around and be like, ha, 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 are you talking to me?
Yeah. Yep. I was wondering if I could get another glass.
Did Kiala take your glass before you were done with it?
Yeah. I turned around and it was gone, but I could use some more.
Good for her. That's what I tell her to do. All right. You want more of the same or something a little bit different?
Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. Let's go with different. You look like a man who enjoys unique experiences. True? Or am I reading too much into it?
No, I think you're reading me really well.
Good to know. Well, then looks like the dark stuff did a number on you, so let me see here. She goes in and she grabs not a large bottle. She brings it out and it's basically a semicircle. Totally flat on one side. And she opens it up and it's like this dark blue glass that you can't really see inside of. She pops it open and there's a little bit of like white mist that shows up. And she grabs a cup and tips it's like a whiskey sipping glass. And she tips it upside down and catches the vapors as it escapes and they pool into the glass before she stoppers it back and puts it down and then turns it upside down and the vapors stay inside the cup and she puts it in front of you.
Ooh.
Liquored air.
Amazing. You wouldn't want to have a glass with me, would you?
She looks up at like a clock on the wall. Give me about 45 minutes and I'll be able to do so as things wind down. You can enjoy that one in the meantime.
Sounds lovely. Hey, one last thing, and I'll be back in a minute, but me and my friends just arrived in town and we don't have a place to stay tonight. Could you recommend any?
I have a completely unbiased recommendation back there. 2 of the rooms are open and vacant, available for rents. This is the primary lodgings of the town.
Wonderful. Well, that sounds great. I'll I'll just be nearby.
All right.
Kind of wander off with his glass.
Sounds good, Pink Boy.
Leo about to take the bull by the horns.
The one human in this town.
I think Leo just became a furry.
Not very furry. It's like a short hair.
What's that?
Hairy.
Yeah, like a minotaur. Like it's like more like a bull. There's not a lot of hair. It's mostly skin.
Yeah, fair, valid. Leo, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check for all of that, just for fun.
Come on. Yes.
You are feeling hot.
Oh, he's getting hot, hot, hot.
All right. So you all see Leo wander off to do whatever's going to happen. And we pan the camera back to you guys at the table.
I figured without any formal guard out in the town, there must be some kind of localized power. And it makes sense that they'd be split into factions with this kind of layout that we're seeing here. So you think, how many were there, you said?
Said there was 5. That's right. Right, Morgan? 5 factions.
I don't remember if I specified. Let's say I did. 4.
4. So 5. Wait. He points to the lodge. He said 1 there. And then he pointed up north, and Dro's doing all of this. And then the others, he decided it's fun for us to find out. So he said about 4. So there's 2 we have no information about. 1 we've met, and 1 we know the direction of them.
Yeah, interesting. Well, we should probably figure out who the players are in town if we're going to be doing much business here.
I agree. Did anybody ever mention or notice that if there's a bounty board around? Did we notice a bounty board when we walked in, Morgan?
I haven't seen one yet.
mentioned it.
Yeah, the drunk guy did mention it.
You're muted, Morgan.
I was unmuted, and I muted myself in order to talk.
Excellent.
How many? I think I'm like close to a 2-year streak of not getting through a game without talking while on mute.
That's a lot switching back and forth, though. I get it.
Yeah, especially while I'm coughing. Trying to spare everybody that repetitive sound. You have not seen a bounty board yet. And you haven't specifically looked for one at the moment either.
I mean, there's a whole other part of town we haven't seen yet.
Right.
Yeah, we can still get the lay of the land here. I'm just about to finish up here with my meal. You said there was another one nearby, though.
Yeah.
One of the woods.
And he points somewhere up there.
Okay.
And are you guys having a discreet conversation, or are you kind of talking out loud?
Bro's not. He's just talking.
I don't think that Seamus ever talks real out loud. I think that he always is like aware of the people around him, and his voice reflects that.
I guess if Dro would clock that, he would kind of tone down a little bit. I mean, he's not yelling it out. He's having just normal conversation. But if Seamus starts to talk a little quieter, I think he'd pick up and his voice would start to get quieter as the conversation went on. But he'd also probably sit down right next to Seamus to begin with, so.
Which? Dro and Yaslin. as you guys are looking around, trying to kind of get more of the lay of the land and stuff, give me a perception check.
What is with 14?
Let me just. Yeah. Why, yeah. This is and also a 14.
14's the number of the night.
Yeah,
feel like,
we got a couple 14s.
Yeah, I feel like you guys remember Pee-wee's Playhouse, and there was always like a secret word. I feel like a lot of our sessions are like the number of the day. You look around and there's all sorts of banners and logos and decoration, and like there's lots of things that are trying to get your attention at the market, right? And both of you just barely like notice out the corner of your eyes another like perfectly circular logo, black, and it has a creature inside of it. And this one is very specifically designed as a blue jay.
Okay.
Little bird, mockingbird, smaller beak, kind of rounded up the chest with a tiny little crest on top and a flat tail line.
I'll kind of clock that and also look back to the group. By the way, have you guys ever heard of the Builder?
No.
Have we? Can we history that, or how do we?
Yeah, you can religion or history that.
Dazzlin's just going around seeing if there's any food on any plates. That's meat specifically.
There's not a lot that's like left over for scraps that fast cat has not already gotten.
Damn.
And it becomes a little bit of like a mini game. And like at some point, Kiala like notices what you're doing. Like doesn't seem to care, but seems to want to like turn it into a competition.
Oh no.
You see like the ears like kind of like tuck back a little bit in like a game face.
Game
like,
on.
Mm-hmm. Yaslin, go ahead and roll 3 dexterity checks for me.
Dude, if Dro clocks this.
I'm not being a very dexterous person right now.
Wow.
Oh, the last one she was like, oh, this is what we're doing.
All right. So let's see. The first one, you match 9s. So you both get up to a plate and you reach for it, and like it's like half a sandwich that's like got like meat like laden into it, and comes up and like you both grab it and like pull, and like you both get half. Like grabs the plate and like runs off. Like, and this happens over the course of maybe like 10 minutes or something. The second time, you reach for something and she like straight up trips you, and you like fall into a chair and like knocks. You knock like a like a small like little dragony person like on the ground. It's like a little kobold. What's wrong with you? Oh, never mind. Bye.
She kind of snarls.
And then the last one, you wait for her, and like she reaches for it, and you kind of like press your elbow into the table a little bit and like tip the table for just a brief moment and like kind of flip the plates and like land it, and it's like 3/4 of a steak that like
Oh yes.
somebody just like, it was clear that it was like somebody who had like too big of their eyes were way bigger than their stomach, and it's like a fish person that like wandered off with like three like spiky kind of like fins coming off their head, and you kind of snatch it out of the air and like hand her the plate, and you see her.
There you go.
Okay. Goes off. Comes back with like a big, and like starts doing the rounds again. It's just like big, entertained smile on her face. And with that, we're going to take our break. So we'll come back in 20 minutes. And we'll see you soon and figure out what you guys are doing after this. Panning back to the four of you sitting around the market. What are y'all doing besides watching Yaslin as she competes for table scraps?
Oh. Hmm. And Leo hasn't come back yet?
No. He's gone for a few minutes before he leaves. Not even sure if he's taking a direct route back to you yet or not.
Okay.
Either is he.
I think when we're ready, we can maybe finish strolling around town here, see what the lay of the land is.
That's fair. Kind of motion back at the blue. It was said Blue Jay that we saw.
Yeah.
There was something like that in the lodge, right behind the counter. A ant, actually. I'm wondering if those are the symbols or crests of these so-called factions. Might not be a bad idea
Interesting.
to take a look around the city, like you said, see if we can spot any more.
Yeah, good looking out.
So Joe's gonna stand up and look for the cat again.
Cat's still going in and out pretty rapidly.
Okay.
By this time, the dinner rush is slowing down a little bit, but not over.
If we start, I guess it also depends. Stroll, look up everyone. Where do you guys want to start? Do you want to? Well, one, Leo has disappeared, so we could go and hunt him down, or we could explore separately, together. Kind of look at everyone.
I think since we're new in town, we should probably stick together. Let's find this, let's find Leo and who's he got house right now? Marcus?
Yeah, that's his name.
I look around for Leo as I hear that.
It's not too hard. There's a lot of people like bustling around, but you do catch, for the strangeness that this town has, it's a lot of grays and browns and blacks and whites and normal color range of fur. Pink, no, that stands out a little bit. So just normally you're able to like track him as he wanders around like a little lake in the middle. Oh, and we don't have Dallin, so nice. I love the way the lighting this lighting looks from the token perspective in the dining area. That was fun. All right, so Leo, you're not just standing still while everybody's like tracking you down. What are you doing?
No, I'm just kind of wandering around the lake, but if I see Seamus, I'm gonna head over to him. I'm gonna say, Seamus, what was the Minotaur's name?
Belga.
Belga. Great. I got a date with her in 45 minutes.
Drill just.
What?
Excuse me?
Oh, and we're gonna stay with her tonight.
Oh, we?
What?
Yeah,
What's this
we-
now?
Yeah, no, the lodge. They have rooms.
Oh, we're staying there, not with her in her room.
I mean, depends on how the night goes, but yeah.
That's a bit different.
How many of those have you had, Leo?
This is only my second drink, but
How out of it does he look?
How many have you had in your life?
listen, where I come from, we don't have drinks this strong.
Oh, he's definitely out of it.
Dro just like leans forward and just stares at him. So you've had water.
And all you guys look at Leo's drink, and like as he like swirls it around, you notice it's not a liquid.
What is that?
It looks like heavy gas.
What are you?
What are you even drinking there? Some kind of potion?
A drug?
I don't know. She gave it to me. I've been drinking from it.
So you drank what a stranger gave you.
Yeah, I mean, I think I paid for it.
Sounds like you're gonna.
Dro just stares at the ground now.
Seamus, inspiration, dude. On point at the moment.
Here, let me have a sip.
What?
Hey, it doesn't
I
matter.
think
You
she was
just take it from him.
I don't think she was asking permission.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just kind of.
Is it one of those ones where you don't grab the glass, but you grab Leo's hand and like pull it?
Yeah,
up to your
and
face?
I just pull it up and I take a sip.
Sure. So first of all, it moves like a liquid, but it feels like wind. If you've ever been like traveling on a windy day and your mouth is open, like the way that it just fills your mouth kind of expands inside. And there's a very gentle, like vanilla flavor with a little bit of like salt, and you drink it and it feels like your oxygen levels increase significantly in your body, and you feel a little bit buzzed, not from the liquor, because it does have like a little bit of a burn, like an after effect, like a kick, but it's more like a runner's high.
Like going to an oxygen bar. Have you ever done that, where they give you like the flavored oxygen tanks at like at a
What?
club or at a show or something?
No, but I've heard of those. Yeah,
They're goofy.
it's like that.
It gives you a little bit of an oxygen high because you're just getting pure oxygen, but it's not.
Nice.
It's very temporary and not very like powerful.
Mm-hmm. It's like that.
Wow,
Look at
if
Yaslan.
it's poison, it's a really good poison.
Dro just snatches it.
And she lets go of his hand.
Well, actually, yeah. But Dro will try to snatch it.
Oh, if she lets you, I guess you can.
Well, if it's still in
Leo-
Leo's hand.
Well, Leo, are you resisting this, or are you just like letting it like your hair.
Oh, it's fine. I'm at this point. It's going wherever it's going. Once Drew has it, it's dead to me.
Just gonna look at it. Look up at Yaslin. Is it good?
It was pretty good.
Just
Oh, wow, that voice was a
This-
little high there.
takes a sip of it.
Same reaction. And Dro, as you, because Lily's voice broke while she was talking.
I didn't mean that.
the next couple of sentences you say are at a higher pitch, like helium. Not quite as drastic as helium, but a little bit higher in general. Improv, roll with what you got.
I know. I'm trying to think how I'd do that. Okay. I don't think I can get my voice to even go any higher. I think he would be a little shocked by the feeling that what he drank and just kind of look and just hold it out to Seamus.
So it is going to be one of those nights, is it?
Save the biggest gulp for me.
Take a sniff.
Smells like wind over grass mixed with a kind of a sweetened tree bark. Like if you were in a meadow that just kind of like blew across and it was a lovely smell. Or
Interesting.
if you're the type of person who enjoys being in a meadow and fresh air, it would be a lovely smell. To Seamus, that's debatable, up to you.
Yeah, I think that would be enjoyable to Seamus. Like on an evening flight about picking up those scents. Yeah, that sounds like a good time. Yeah, I'll take a little sip here, try it out.
Mhm. Yeah, it's lovely, and
Yeah, this is really good stuff.
yes, yes, so much yes. And Nora takes her turn. It's like, oh god, I just realized I set myself up. Well, we should definitely get some more of that. And is Leo's girlfriend buying?
I think at this point everyone's staring at Leo.
I'm probably just like paying attention to Marcus, just like petting him. At this point, you guys are all fighting over my drink, and I'm over it.
I think Marcus might be like looking at the cup that Nora has. Like,
Leo, I think we're gonna check out the rest of this town here while you go on your date here maybe this evening. Do you want us to watch over your things or anything for you? I've known a gal or two that, would make you feel a little lighter in the wallet by the morning when you left if you aren't paying too close attention. And this is a pretty strong drink for a guy that's had 3.
All right. So I'll take off my little backpack and I'll strap it around Marcus, and I'll tell Marcus to follow you.
how big is the backpack? Because Marcus is about. Let me see. Is he a tiny creature? Or is he a medium? Or is he a small? No, he's a
That's my
small. So he's about.
I think he's a small. My backpack
He's
is.
about-
It's not really a full backpack. It's like you can kind of see it on my character. It's like a strap with a very small pouch on the back. So
Oh, that's the.
yeah, it's like
that's-
that strap goes around my chest, and then there's like a small pack on the back.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it's Marcus sized for sure.
Yeah, just strap it down pretty tight using those leather straps. And
Marcus
that way
gives
I
you-
can kind of keep track of them as well.
Okay, yeah, Marcus gives you kind of a happy chirp, like, "Bling!" And like kind of lands on the back of your head and kind of like does like Griffin version of like kitty biscuits on your hair for a moment.
On whose hair? On my hair?
No, on Leo.
Okay.
All right. So Leo, you've got about roll an intelligence check for me.
Oh God.
At
Check.
disadvantage because you're drunk.
Boo. Oh, that's a 2 at disadvantage.
You've got about 45 minutes left before your date.
All right.
So are you gonna stick with them until that time, or are you gonna meander off?
No, I'm gonna send Marcus with them. I might have spied one of these loots over here,
Ooh, okay.
and I'm gonna walk over here and talk to the lootist.
The way you said that sounded like lewd.
The lootist.
Not like somebody.
Who's the
who is
lewdest
in-
person here?
All right, yeah, you go over there, and there's a floppy-eared rabbit man like sitting in a bucket, and
I would ask him if I can, if he ever rents out any of these loots.
renting is a bit of a service. They tend to like to choose their owners. Look for one you like and see if you can play a tune.
All right. I'll look
And,
around. I'll try to find one that's lightweight and would be easy to carry if I was to take it with me.
Sure. You got some like miniature versions of it, like the lutes over
around the
on
corner
the
there.
other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you also have some harps, a couple of, things that are various string instruments. And let's see, do you have proficiency in those?
I don't think I do,
I don't think you do.
but
yet. No.
I rolled a pretty good performance check last time.
That you
So let's give it a shot. I will grab one of the lightweight loots, I think. It's probably going to be Leo's best, or his first choice.
did. Okay, let's see if we can find out what those are actually called. Yeah, you pick one up. There's 3 there, and they all look similar in construction, but the materials are different. Looks like one of them is kind of a white stained reed with little, almost like thin zebra stripes of like red, like across it, but it's a little bit muted. It's not like a garish like white on red. The other one is black with some kind of blue ripples in it, and the other one is let's say kind of an ombre fade from like a turquoise into like a bit of a lime green and ending in kind of a bright red.
I think I'm going to go for like what he would go for is like Harry Potter trying out the wands. Like I'd probably pick up each one and do a quick little chord or do a quick little scale.
Okay.
And just kind of see which one feels right.
Sure. Okay, so give me 3 separate performance checks.
All right. Performance.
Wow.
Ooh, that first one
Wow,
felt
okay.
really good.
Yeah, apparently.
I might just stick with it. I mean, that one just felt perfect.
yeah, you even in your, and maybe it's like you play better when you're drunk, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like you just like grab it and just like and like it's like on point. It's like incredibly precise. Absolutely nail it, and you see him like hop up in his like sit up out of his bucket. Well, I'll be. Sounds like possibly the best match I've heard in quite a while. What's your name, son?
Yeah. Leo.
Leo. Name's Baba. Pleasure to meet you. You know what?
Yeah.
I can tell you've still got a long way to go before you're full-on proficient with that thing, but sometimes there's just the right bits of seeds planted to show you where things are going to go. I feel like these are one of those moments. That one's on the house. You just come back at some point and play for me again if you would.
You got a deal, Bubby.
All right.
Awesome.
Oh.
So yeah, he'd probably wander off now, playing his guitar or playing his what do we call it? I need to add it to my inventory.
A glower?
Glower. All right.
I'm looking in the equipment section and it's like, you can't see this. You need this content. And like, what are you talking about? I own all the content. Okay. So Leo earned himself a free instrument, and what are the rest of you doing?
So we're gonna go for a stroll around town here.
Yeah.
All right. Where to?
Gonna go around the lake.
While we're walking, Dro is also keeping an eye out for anything that piques his interest monk-wise. If that makes sense, Morgan.
You looking for monks?
More tools or weapons or...
Just always looking for monks.
I mean, fair.
Hey. No, you don't. Not a lot from where you're at so far. The three of you, including Nora and Marcus, as you all cross in front of this building here, like you start to pick up, and nobody even needs to roll a perception check for this. You pick up lots of different scents in the air. A little bit smoky, a little bit smooth, sweet, harsh, bitter scents. It's just like pouring out the front of the second of the larger tents that you see. This one, almost similar construction to what the other one was, but instead of black spiky, black and spiky, this one is more like a red leather with kind of like an oily pattern to it, in that, like, you know, when oil like shimmers like the rainbow. It's got that kind of opalescent shimmer to the texture of the leather.
Are the doors actually open? Like, or are they closed?
Oh yeah, they're open. And you look inside, and this is a smoke lounge. In here, several different cushions and tables and whatnot, all just enjoying themselves, smoking and whatnot. And I just realized I forgot to put doors in this place. Yeah, so it's just it's a group of people who are just chatting, enjoying themselves, having a smoke with each other, and everybody seems to be very lighthearted and peaceful.
Are there any signs up around the area here?
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
Can I help? Can I assist with that?
Yes, indeed.
Or I don't know if you want to roll with advantage or have me roll too.
Your call.
I had a +5.
We should both roll.
Okay.
Ooh.
Dro's just child eyes are too busy.
Still looking at all the pretty colors.
Yeah, you're a little accosted by the sense. You're like, whoa. Seamus, this is not your first time seeing a smoke shop. You're not taken aback. You quickly see a placard on the front of the arch, on front of the tent. It says, "The Traveler's Mist." And with a 20, all the way back here, you see, as you're looking around, you see just a cacophony of different types of people. Large, small, fuzzy, short-furred, leathery, scaly. They're just mixed all over the place. Some people are making out. And there seems to be kind of this general vibe of languidness and like kind of floppy behavior. But with your people reading skills and with your dirty 20, you look across the room, and sitting directly at the back of the table is a purple-skinned amphibian person with little black and white spots to them, modeled after, and they look like some sort of frog. They've got a kind of like shaved sides of their heads, with what little hair they do have is almost in like a pulled back up bun, but it's like all dreads. And that is the one person that you see in there that seems totally cognizant, even though they're actively like. And as they blow out, like the smoke, like turns into a bit of a hand and like gestures inwards before disappearing. And behind that person on the wall, you see a black circle with a very detailed logo of a monarch butterfly. And I did not mean to just make that an Alice in Wonderland reference with the smoke and the hookah and the butterfly, but I did.
Morgan, have all these that we've seen all been black circles?
Yep.
Okay.
Just real quick, is this box outside this tent over here a box of skulls that I'm looking at?
Yes, it is.
It just. And over here we've got a box of skulls. If you're in the mood for a skull,
You guys, never mind. I won't say that because I'm enjoying letting you guys explore this awesome map.
it's nice. It definitely is cool. I think I'll step into this smoking lounge. Check it out. Maybe I'll look over at Nora. Kind of give a heads up.
Like stay outside, make sure there's nothing trouble coming.
I think you might want to be inside if there's trouble for this one.
Yeah, inside trouble it is. All right. Sorry, Seamus, I stepped on your foot.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That must
after
be
you, milady. After you.
very painful.
Nora just walks up and like doesn't even ask or like try to pay for anything. Just like waits until like somebody like she sees somebody like taking a breath from their smoke and just grabs it next and
Oh no.
yeah, that's decent. And you walk in and you see a bunch of different colored kobolds running around the area. You see that fishman that left the food that Yaslin ended up eating. You even see like a couple of centaurs like nestled down on the cushions and whatnot. You also see a trio of loxodons, elephant folk with their long tusks or trunks, like grabbing the hose in the smoke and just like dipping it into their mouth, or one of them takes it directly through the trunk. You also see kind of an insectoid person with like 4 arms and a monkey person as well. There's all sorts in here. Most of them have sleepy eyes, except for the frog.
Is anybody coming up to ask us? Is there any like somebody to provide service in here?
No, but as you kind of like walk in and just kind of take stock of everything, it doesn't seem like anybody is on like service duty. They're just kind of going about it. So you're not entirely sure like what the business model is, or if it's self-service or what. But that purple frog kind of leans forward and stops smoking, and the smoke just kind of like drifts out of their mouth. Welcome. You are all new faces here. What brings you in? What brings you to Rippletop? And the whole while, just more smoke just comes out. It doesn't seem to stop.
Just passing through. Thought we'd check out the neighborhood. See what all the hubbub was about. Traveler's Mist. Seems like quite the establishment you got here.
It's one version of worship that I enjoy. And others do too. And she looks around. And you're welcome to partake, as your large friend has. It's more of an exchange service around here. That you can come and go, and we all work hard as a community. This is one way that a large portion of us enjoy winding down. It helps to reinvigorate folks, allows them to relax and unwind and be better for their tomorrow. Too many days of hard work in a row has diminishing returns on work.
That's very thoughtful of you to be looking out for all these folks and the kindness of your heart like that.
There's always something to appreciate about the company of others. Seamus, give me an insight check.
I was just about to ask that.
Not for her words. This is a body language thing. All right. That's still pretty good. You notice that the like there's a lot of people, and like people are like very touchy-feely like around this space in general. You see the only person who is around this frog is a muscular snake type person who has like a collapsed cobra hood around their neck. And this, it's kind of like a muscular guy, looks almost like a background boyfriend. With snake fangs sticking out, and the tongue comes out occasionally, and there's like black and blue scales that like run up their arms. And they're the only ones that seem to be kind of close, and like has his hand like on her leg. It's just kind of like like, you know, sweet touches gently.
They weren't the ones making out earlier, were they? Honestly,
No.
I would like to know how snakes would make out. Like, would they unhinge their jaws and kind of snap at each other, or is it all tongue?
Different modes for different moments, but when it is all tongue, it's kind of like this.
Oh.
Yeah. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of constricting.
They give a whole new meaning to writhing. There you go. You're welcome, Quentin. That's what you needed on your Wednesday night.
This is
This
Astro's acting.
episode is rated PG-13. For now. When it gets back to Leo, it might become R. So what kind of passersby reach the top of the mountain? It's not a terribly frequent destination for aimless travel. Anything in particular that you're looking for, Wayne?
Just out here for business. We're a group of professional contractors, and like I said, just passing through town.
I'm guessing by the looks of you, professional killers? Assassins? Perhaps?
Some of us are a wee bit dangerous, yeah. But I wouldn't say it's that black and white.
Few things rarely are. There are those that would take this environment and call it dastardly. But I provide a legitimate service. It allows people to endure they get to dream and relax, connect with others. And that has merit. Others don't always see it that way. They simply see a whole of horrors. Are you?
I could understand that with your pricing model.
This is true. Are you the type that dives into the whole of horrors in your line of work? And no, that's not a euphemism. I'm talking about...
Literal.
I'm talking about going into places that normal people fear.
You sure seem to be getting at something here.
Oh, you simply interest me. And
What?
I might have some work that a few capable folks could find useful.
And there it is.
There's the catch.
Do you want to go into another room to talk about this? It seems like the kind of thing you might need that for.
I just so happen to have excellent accommodations for such. And she hops off the couch and like straight jump all over here while her snake man follows suit and enters into the door over here and beckons y'all to come with.
It's going to be a tight fit.
Oh boy.
It's the snake goes and like lays down on the bed in the back, and
I mean,
Frog like kind of like hops on the edge of the bed. Come in. It's not usually designed for this many, but we can make it work. Unless somebody wants to stay out.
Troy just awkwardly walks in and finds her.
goodness. Yaslin takes one look at this hodgepodge. Is like, nah. You guys can
Yaslin
stay in there.
Watches the door. All right.
Yeah, she'll watch the door.
So, if one had a job for you, what kind of details would entice you? Thievery, killing, hunting, snooping. I happen to have something on just about every level, and I won't make it do anything that's not your typical line of work. That won't make you do anything that you don't want to, in fact. I believe in equal exchange.
I think our group has a pretty wide assortment of specialties. I would say that some of us might be better at bagging and tagging, as it were, or acquiring things that are difficult to acquire. Generally speaking, I would say the jobs that interest us most are the ones that have the greatest number of zeros at the end of it.
Right fit for the right price. That can be arranged. I'm looking for... Well, I'll just be blunt about it. I'm looking for some vengeance. Or perhaps revenge is the proper word. Feels like a slight on me, even though I was technically unarmed. Our community here, it's not superficial in the way that large organizations can tend to throw around the words for a family. This is a network of connected families that have been here for generations. We work hard, we thrive, we expand. We send some of our young people away when they're interested in exploring the world, and we welcome them back with open arms whenever they want to return. This place is what I care about. These are my people. There was a recent affront, not here, but at the library. Some of ours were killed. some of what is ours was stolen. We'd like to get it back without risking more of our own. And that's a selfish thing to claim, of course. But as you said, the number of zeros makes it more desirable to folks. Equal exchange, as it were. Are you interested in something like that?
What did they nick from you?
Knowledge they stole from the library.
Joe, chime in. You mentioned this city runs, but you say families. That artwork out there, that belong to your family?
Which one? There are many pieces, and there were like different styles and collections and art pieces. It's kind of a little bit of a hypnotic hodgepodge of like everything on the walls that people can't touch or use really is decorated in some sort of art form.
The one that you were sitting in front of, the butterfly in the dark circle.
Yes.
Seen some of those around the city.
Then you've met some of my compatriots or my cohorts.
The individuals that stole from you, do they belong to one of them?
No, dear gods, no. They are the other heads. They are in tandem with me. The ones who stole from us are outsiders. As best we know, but we know pretty damn well, I would say.
Kind of looks at Seamus. The outsiders. I just saw the image in Discord. Can you describe them a little? I mean, like you said, they stole knowledge. Knowledge is very powerful. It piques a lot of interest, and it can definitely turn the tide very quickly. So the more that we have, the more that we can think about it, and our group here can have a conversation how we decide.
My knowledge of the events is secondhand, only what I've gathered from my people. It is likely in your best course of professional integrity to gain information and detail from the source, from those who survived the attack, of which there are many, but each one we lost is an irreplaceable soul. Seems to be the only properly weighted word. They came during the day, which most of our people are nocturnal. They are not affronted by the sunlight, but they are more comfortable in the darker times of the cycle. They wore all white, had a variety of techniques, attacking styles. Apparently some of them were more brutish in nature assigned to only hunting down and hurting as many folks as they could in the time frame that which they were there. They had others who simply went for the books. Well coordinated, organized, and knew what they were doing and what they were looking for. Doesn't mean they found what they were looking for, but they at least thought that it was there. The attacks were a distraction. Not people as a whole are proficient in a fight. Perhaps we surprised them with that, which is why there were not so many casualties. We did manage to kill a couple of them, and we have some magicians who've been able to preserve their remains. We've been trying to gather additional information from them.
Joe will just kind of look at Seamus.
We've got a couple days while we're working through getting some equipment. We could probably look into this. I think we want to check out the library while we're here anyways. So I think we could probably do this Skal a favor. At least help some of the investigations. It sounds like you don't quite know where to go looking to recover your lost knowledge.
Not entirely. Admittedly, our culture is built of strong, abled individuals as a baseline. But we are primarily peaceful. Investigations of this sort are generally unnecessary. We don't have a lot of skill set in this area.
I think we can lend a hand for you there then and see what we can do. Obviously, any information you can give us would be helpful. I've got a contact I can also reach out to that might have some ideas.
Excellent. And anything additional I can think of, I'll bring to the table. It's been on my mind, but I wasn't actually expecting to run into anybody that I could hire to look into this, so I'll need a moment to gather my thoughts in more definitive detail. And
I got to say, there's definitely something about the people here that I have akin to. I'm definitely growing. The town's growing on me, even as I pass through the evening here.
A creature of the night, I take it. You look a bit more wide-eyed and bushy-tailed than some of your partners.
I don't tan well.
Nice deflection right there.
Nor do I. And as she's talking, smoke is still coming out of her mouth, and it's been a 10-minute conversation since she had her last smoke.
Are there any Norwicks in town? Is that what they're called again? What are the bird people? Norwicks? No, it wasn't. Was it? How do I send?
Oh, come on, brain. A Nuok.
Nuok. Got it.
Is that
No.
what that bird was at the bar? A cook?
That's a Kenku, probably.
Okay, so that is a kinku.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a Kenku. He's talking about a messenger. We don't have one that specifically
Oh,
stays on hand, but we do have one that shows up every couple of days. We do a fair amount of creation, travel, and merchandise. Goes even long distance these days.
Or could you procure something of that nature?
Oh, it's. There's still a mystery to us. They weren't around today, which means they'll likely be here at some point tomorrow, just rumbling through town. Rumbling is a poor choice of words for those island creatures, but they'll be doing their business as usual.
Good looking out.
Yes. Well, if you have any more inquiries, please let me know. Oh, and I'm terribly impolite at this point in the conversation. The name is Poing.
Poing.
Exactly.
Might have a little trouble remembering that one, but we'll give it a go.
It's all right. We'll make it stick at some point. And your names?
My name's Seamus. This is Nora. This over here is Dro. And out just outside the door there we've got Yoslin. Another couple chaps with us here. Oh, right, and little Marcus over here. Schlepping around the backpack.
At this point, Marcus is like, has landed on like a nearby countertop and is just like looking a little bit woozy from like all the smoke in the air. It's just kind of like
Secondhand.
yeah, it's like secondhand high on the little animal.
Which way is the library from here?
You'd have to continue a bit north. Not too far. About a couple of hours. Just up the road on either side of town, and you'll get there.
And do they keep the same sort of hours as the rest of the town here?
Indeed.
This place is great.
Happy to oblige. Another darkling.
Oin, can you tell me, we've got Belga on the other side of town. Who are the other heads that you work with here?
Oh, certainly. I run this establishment. Belga runs hers. Migalo has his. He's the one that runs the market. And Escala runs the other shop, let's say.
You're totally gonna have to send me those spellings of that.
What? You guys don't know how to spell the shit that comes out of my brain?
No, no.
Just start typing. I was like, there's no way that's right. So we've got, just so I didn't miss it, we've got smoke shop, the lounge, Why do you say lounge? The lodge, the market. It's 3, and then the other shop is 4.
And Escala runs the. And then Nora dies.
Oh, that's what I was afraid of. That's why I came in. I'm gonna sneak in a peek real quick to see.
You're in the back room of a smoke shop with a shady frog.
Excellent. Continue.
Doing business.
Big fan of smoke shops and Shady Frog.
Mm-hmm. And Escala runs the adventure store.
Adventure store.
What?
Indeed.
Okay.
That's Escala that you just said, and that.
Yes, Escala.
Adventure is what?
Store.
Store.
Door.
What exactly
Store.
is at an adventurer's door?
Adventurer's door? No, you
A door?
have
We're all just sitting there.
Are you
what?
saying door or store? Are we doing frog protection or frog protection?
At mid-flight, I'm changing my answer. She runs the adventurer's door.
Just drove just
Door.
the whole time.
Adventure.
Door
We're
deal.
like
Yeah,
all
not a
of us have like
window.
notepads and we're like scratching out and rewriting.
Right, not a window, but a door.
Adventurer's door.
Just Dro's like that thing and point at the door.
Yes, a bloody door.
But
The
I
thing
don't
with the knob.
Got it. I mean, it could be a push.
how does that work? Do adventurers just walk through it and
Yes.
that's that?
Like they do with every other shop they've ever been to.
It's probably a shop.
Oh, it's a shop.
That makes sense.
So we asked about these factions, these families. You are part of one, the head. Do the families have names?
They're not exactly based on familial ties. There are families that have more in-depth ties to one or more of the different factions, but it is more centered around a set of beliefs,
Like the builder.
like the builder, like the traveler. She gestures to her space around her.
I'm listening.
Yeah, you mentioned when we came in that you were practicing your religion.
Indeed, I did.
How does that work exactly?
And she, just for dramatic effect, she walks over here, grabs the pipe that's still in the fire, and puts it up to her lips, and blows it up towards the ceiling, and there's a kind of a smoke ring that comes out that forms something of a vague globe and shows a dotted line across it. And she puffs it away. Travel. And she takes another breath in off the pipe. And breathes out. You can see her just kind of languidly enjoy her take. And travel.
Dro just immediately. Oh, I get it. The traveler.
Yes.
just looks around.
Different forms of travel are worship to my deity. This is mine.
As I probably know the answer to this. It's just I don't know what that traveler is.
Roll a religion check.
Oh, I couldn't have rolled in the 13.
Nope. Not sure. And also, for total clarity, this is not a Critical Role reference. This is something completely different. It just happened to show up with the same name. And I didn't even really realize it until I said it out loud to you guys.
The traveler.
Hi, Artagan. My bad. Infringing on your copyright.
Well, I guess we should probably continue around town here tonight and appreciate your time and the opportunity to help the people in the community here. We can
It's appreciated on our end as well.
we can work out the payment as we kind of get clear on what it is that we're looking for.
Pardon. Sorry, were you talking about price at the end there?
Yeah, just saying that yeah, as we learn more, we can work out the price.
Sounds good. Certainly. Equal exchange. Don't exactly know what we're dealing with here. If it turns out to be simple, the compensation will be simple. More complex, compensation will be complex.
I have to imagine revenge for the killing of some of your people starts around the more complex to begin with.
The anticipation does happen to be on that side, yes. And if you can manage to bring some of them to me alive, the pay increase will be higher. Now, as per all my guests, you're welcome to partake as you leave. And enjoy the town. I'm sure there's plenty more to see. Talk to you.
Which way to the adventurer's door?
Just out my door. Continue traveling around the lake. And it's the other big tent.
Appreciate your time.
Easy enough. Appreciation is mutual. Thank you, Seamus, Dro, Leo, Nora. Oh no, Leo's not there. Nora and Yaslin on the other side of the door. Thank you all very much. I look forward to our partnership here.
Of course.
Chivia. She goes and sits at her desk and begins to start writing a few notes. Are you guys sticking around in the shop?
I think
In the smoke
Dro.
shop?
I think Dro would step out.
carrying Marcus with him. As Marcus
Yeah,
is
just-
like
Okay, you need to go.
Marcus is like a cat that has like passed out from catnip at this point.
No.
Yeah, I think Yasmin will try one of these thingies, and then seeing Jolie, she like takes a really big, like a really quick, like, like follows him.
Yep.
Tro's
One
just
of them
standing
needs-
at the door looking at her.
One of them tastes like strawberries mixed with like basically tastes like a strawberry marmalade.
Oh, that's wow.
Mhm.
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
definitely like gives you like the tinglies.
Oh,
All right, Leo, roll me a second intelligence check, please.
oh my gosh.
Oh.
Oh no. Your sense of time is foobarred. And you have no idea what time it is or what time your how long it is until your date.
That's fair.
I was like, please don't roll a one. Please don't roll it. Oh, crap.
Run.
So what do you do as your...
So I did have a plan which might mitigate this problem.
Okay.
Because my plan was essentially that because I knew that I was drunk and I didn't trust my sense of time, I was just going to go, as soon as I got that guitar, I was going to go sit in the lounge and play it until she was off.
Ooh.
I was just going to sit there and wait for her and play it in the background.
Okay.
So, I mean, that gives me more opportunity to screw it up, but I was also, my thought was like, I don't really know what time it is, so I'll just wait for her. And, you know, you work in a restaurant, you don't always know when you're getting off.
Yep. Okay. Respect. Yeah, that checks out. All right, let's have a couple of performance checks from you.
All right. Five. Not great. My opener sucked.
Yeah, it's mostly just like you sitting in the corner, just like getting used to it. You had like a great initial contact with it, but I don't think you'd have to be blaring it to the group or whatever.
Yeah, and
just
there's
sounds
still
like
plenty of
something
people
who's
here, right? So,
Mhm. Yeah, there's a
Alright.
couple of people that give you looks, and there's somebody that's like, "Hey, man, do your thing."
all right, I'll go again. Try another song. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, that one comes across. You know, you get it, and you finally like get it tuned to the right thing, and you just start going, and yeah, you're vibing pretty well. You even get a couple of silver coins as a tip.
Nice. All right, what do you think? Maybe one more before she's off, or two more? One more? All right.
Unamas.
Nice. Slightly better.
All right. Yeah. By the end, people are like lingering a little bit. So just to enjoy the song or your series of performances. So she gets off a little bit later than she normally would because you know, people are starting to camp out to hear the human play. And like the kitchen staff and everybody, like at some point, like it all kind of like starts to die down, and they're just like kind of meandering and closing down. They're shutting down the kitchen, they're cleaning dishes, they're restocking whatever they need to, yada yada. And at some point, like Belga's overall jobs are done for the night. She just kind of starts like leaning up against the smokestack and just kind of stares at you until most of the people leave. She shoos away some of the customers that are like giving her eyes and be like, get out of here or I'll break your fucking nose. Freaking Troy. Just saw one of them like bouncing and it's just like, oh god. She sends her staff away, gives them some good money, and they all leave. And it's just the two of you. Like, and
Nice.
here I thought you were just a big lightweight who couldn't control himself under a drink.
You
Not that
know,
that's unappealing.
I'm not the heaviest weight, but your drinks were quite incredible.
Alcohol, and especially magical alcohol, is deliciously complex. I find things that are simple to be a bit drab.
Well,
Dude.
so tell me, what do you... Okay. So tell me about yourself then. Where did you come from?
Not here. One of the things that Aeon is really good for is throwing people into circumstances that we're not expecting. Repeat that process by a few hundred years, and some natural patterns begin to occur. One of which is some natural bias that comes up. Especially for those that look and behave a little differently than others. There are entire cities, countries, nations, whatever, that's may look or behave. She gestures to herself and gestures to the dining room and like the wall beyond, like we do. But there are hundreds and thousands over the years that don't have that level of community to them when they arrive here. Rippletop is a bit of a bastion for those who differently were not prevalent. Humans and elves, dwarves, they still massively dominate the population. Many of us make our way here because we hear of its relative safety. I'm one of those people. My world was a beautiful labyrinth. And I mean the world. The entire world was a puzzle to travel. Our minds are well suited for it after generations and aeons there. And one day I had the white flesh. And as she says that, that sounds familiar to you. I had the white flash mention the bells. Everything she says reminds you of your process of how you went through a series of events to get here. And one day I was simply here. Alone, away from my people, and scared. And so I traveled, I fought, I survived, and I hoped for anything that could potentially feel safe again. I eventually heard rumors and made my way here. Found my peace. Found my purpose, as she references up to the logo of the ants, and decided to build something here. And she looks a little abashed. I'm sorry, you asked me a simple question, and I gave you a monologue.
No, this is incredibly fascinating and actually means a lot to me. But tell me more about the purpose that you found here.
Do you know anything about the builder?
No. I'm relatively new to Aeon.
Ah. How long has it been?
Only weeks.
Ah. Brand new then. Well, Aeon has an absolute plethora of pantheons that have come from wherever they did in the universe, or universes, or whatever. The Builder is one of 4 that are present here. And they advocate literal building in various forms. I am one of the heads of Rippletop, and I was chosen by the Builder to represent because I had a desire to build a community. That's why I chose the ants as my symbol. And she pulls up her sleeve, and nestled in the between her bicep and her forearm is a matching tattoo deep in her, it goes through her fur into her skin, and you can see it underneath. And I have my counterparts all represent their deity as well in various aspects. What about you, Leah? Or you, Pink Boy. She doesn't know your name. Listen. What is your name?
My name is Leo. And, be honest, since this is all so new to me, I really haven't thought about it too much. And I have tried not to think about my home that I left. But I'm happy to talk about it now. I come from Go ahead.
Am I your first? Am I the first?
Sorry.
Oh, she said it flirty
Yeah.
on purpose.
No, you actually are. But
That's
you know, I'm usually a pretty
satisfying.
private person, but something about you is making me want to open up. My world, I guess, if that's what you call it, is generally plagued by monsters, creatures, and beasts. Coming to Aeon has actually been a very interesting experience, as where I come from, we don't really think too much of the beasts. We tend to capture or scare them away from our territory, and tend to, I'd say, some people oppress the beasts that we have. So this has been a very interesting change, let's say.
He moves a little closer and leans on the counter. And what about you, Leo? And first of all, I think you can say it is your world. I think every creature that lives in a world can lay claim to at least a small part of it. So why wouldn't it be yours? And secondly, are you an oppressor? I saw your little red fiery looking friends come in with you earlier. It's not with you now.
No, that is Marcus. He's actually out with the rest of my party right now. But no, I'm very much part of the resistance, let's say, of people who have chosen to not oppress or abuse, but to collaborate and to bond with.
Fascinating. But
No.
it makes you a pariah to choose cooperation, connection instead of slavery.
It did, but it really doesn't feel like that anymore. Now that I'm here in Aeon, everything is different.
A dear old friend of mine used to say that Aeon is the most wonderfully messy blank slate anyone could ever wish for. You don't get a clean canvas here. Get muck and grime and ash and tears. But at least the picture's not drawn. It's just a background.
Why do you imagine that we're here?
I struggle with that question. Sometimes I wonder the same thing. Sometimes I wonder if there is no answer at all. Sometimes I wonder if it's all just a challenge, something to learn from. any of those answers are probably true to some degree. But I think the one that feels most true, regardless of circumstance, is it's not about what brought us here, but about what we choose to do with ourselves once we are here. There are those that succumb, there are those who thrive.
Well, it looks like you're one who thrives. You've done well here, and I hope I can too.
You seem to be doing all right. You made it through your first few weeks with sanity, or at least some version of not completely shutting down and letting some beast eat you from limb to limb.
Yeah, some version. You know, I do run a successful pastry shop now.
Oh, do you? Is that why you asked me about pastries earlier?
I might be guilty of trying to plant a seed.
Of mixing business with pleasure?
My favorite two things.
Mine too. She gets up from behind the counter and walks towards you. Plants her hands on, like, either side of your chair. Leans in and says, I'm not the type to wait. And she leans in for a kiss.
I would give her a kiss, and I would pull out an order sheet.
Roll a persuasion check. With advantage due to...
I need the
Oh
advantage.
my gosh, you did.
Let me roll one more. All right.
Wow.
All right. You did well in the conversation. You softened her up quite a bit. It's like, pleasure first. And then she kind of like slides it across the table. But we'll get to that. Especially if the pastries are good. And she's going for it. What are you doing?
I'm all in. Let's go. We'll go back. Does she live here?
No, she lives in a tent elsewhere. She just runs the establishment. So she she leaves the two other rooms available for your friends if they want to come in. But she just for fun. Let me see who's got the best passive perception. That would be Nora. Nice. As you guys are walking down to the tents, the adventurer's door, Nora looks across the way with her fantastic eyes and sees Leo. Leo, she's much bigger than you and stronger than you.
Yeah.
Like if you're okay with it, she's gonna like scoop you up and like take you home.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, she's carrying me with her. That's great.
Yep, and Nora's the only one that sees this happening. And that's where we will call it a night.